Well, I had a little preview, so I kind of knew. But just everything is happening this morning. I'm just very touched. Sometimes I feel like I can just sit here and let people pray and sing and just sit right there and not do this part. But alas, it's part of it, so we'll do this part. I'm very moved this morning. There's so much support, and so much love, and so much goodness. I hear people before the service in the office talking about, oh, okay, so you're doing the usher on this door today, right? Yep, we got that covered. So-and-so's not here, so everything is just covered and happening. And it's not by accident, it's by people caring. And it's you guys. And I appreciate it a lot. It makes it real cool to be a minister here. I just have a moment.
Good job, President.
Some of you still had your eyes closed after Sherry got done praying, but Pat was handing out Kleenex. Thank you, I got mine too. You know, prayer is certainly not anything new. Every religion, every spiritual system teaches some kind of prayer or mindfulness practice or some way to connect. Nothing new. My highlight of this topic is the very first word. It's the importance of prayer. This philosophy teaches prayer. Now, when I was first learning about this, I was taught kind of a rigid way of doing things, and I let that change for myself over the years. But we teach a couple of basic ideas, is that when we're praying and or meditating, we're seeking to feel that presence and that connection with what I often refer to as the God of our understanding. We might have different ways of understanding what God is, but connecting to it is so much more important than intellectually knowing about it. So that connection, that sense of presence is number one. The other reason that we do prayer here in this philosophy is to bring into our life's experience that which we desire to be living, all the good that we desire to have, whether that be something tangible like more money or like a better career, or whether that be something that's maybe a little more intangible, a little more visible, like love, or like a sense of forgiveness. That we are praying to help realize those qualities in our life. If you've taken a class, you know that we teach this thing called spiritual mind treatment. Big, scary word for prayer. And you know that we teach 5 steps. We teach a method. And for me, the minute I learned that method, I thought, yeah, that's logical, it's effective, it's practical, and makes sense. I'm not talking about it today, other than to say, we've got this thing called the spiritual mind treatment. I highly recommend that everybody, at least once, takes the foundations class. If that's all you ever take, it at least gives you the basic understanding of all the tools that we offer. So if you haven't done it yet, it's coming up in the summertime. It's really worth it. So then when you hear me talk about this 5-step method, you go, I know what she's talking about. So we teach this 5-step method, but it is not the only way to pray. Some of my colleagues who might even watch this on YouTube may curse me and think I'm being, doing blasphemous, telling you blasphemous things. It is not the only way to pray. It's one way. It works good. It's effective. It's logical. It's awesome. But whatever can move you to a place in your consciousness, in your awareness, in your heart, in your being, whatever can move you to a place of accepting that there's only one source and all the good of that one source is yours to have. Whatever moves you there is a good prayer, in my opinion. I say that because I don't want anybody who's new to the 5-step prayer to get awfully hung up on the 5 steps. I often have a little joke, and I say it like, well, not really a joke, it's true, but a little humor that unless you're taking a practitioner exam, it really doesn't matter what step goes where. If you're going to take a practitioner exam, It matters a whole lot that you can do it that way, verbally and written, and that you know what step is called what, and why, and how to do it. But if you're not going to be a licensed practitioner, our relationship with God is not such that this God cares about the steps. Okay? If you're going for a practitioner exam, make sure you can do it in your sleep. Did we say that like over and over and over, right? That 5 steps is really good, but whatever can move you to that place of acceptance is a good prayer. Okay, now you're all mostly of the generation who remembers the TV commercial about somebody eating donuts and junk food, and then later on in the day goes, I could have had a V8. Right? Do it often. It's after the fact, right? I've eaten all this crap and I don't feel very good now. And oh my gosh, I could have had something healthier. V8's loaded with salt. That's another story. But we could have had a V8. Like, remember after the fact that I could have done something better for my health. The tip here is obvious. When it comes to praying, don't wait. Don't wait. I think too often in our human nature, we wait until things get really bad. And then we go, oh yeah, I think I could have prayed. And I'm saying it with that silly voice because sometimes even I have forgotten to. It's like, oh yeah, you have this tool. But sometimes we wait until like the last resort. Maybe I'll try some prayer now. The tip is to not wait until it's the last resort, until you've tried everything else you can think of to try, and then you say, maybe I'll pray now. Do it the other way around. Put the prayer first, and everything that you need, everything else, will begin to guide you. If you don't believe me, you're going to have to try it, but I've proven it to myself enough times that when I struggle and effort on my human, physical, ego ways of trying to do things, it's not near as effective as if I sit down and do the prayer first, move myself to that place of what I say every week. There's only one source. It's right here. It wants to hear from me. It wants to know what I want, and it's willing to guide me. When we put that first, the unfolding seems kind of like magic sometimes. The unfolding of it is like, wow, wow, wow. And the more we remember to put the prayer first, like every day, our days go fluid and smooth. I know for me, when I forget, not as fluid, not as smooth. It's very obvious to me. Anybody else experience that? That when you forget to do it, it's like, oh yeah, on the head, I could have prayed first. Again, it can take 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long thing. Whatever moves you to that place. So let's not wait until the last resort. Let's remember to pray first. It's important to put it ahead of other things and not at the bottom of our to-do list. Now, for me, I have 3 reasons that I came up with, and I got them up here on PowerPoint. The 3 reasons that for me, when I say prayer is important. The first one I've already kind of been talking about. But this is so important in my book. Helps us feel the presence of the source within us. This does not take any special place. This does not take any special training. This does not take anything other than your willingness to do something like this. Close my eyes. Breathe. Remembering that breath is not of my doing. I co-create with the breath by making it deeper. But something else is breathing me. It takes me immediately to that place of God is breathing me. And then I can take that into my whole body. I can feel my heartbeat and I say, I'm not beating my heart. The presence of God is beating my heart. I feel that. It can be that simple to feel the presence of God. Sometimes we make it too big of a deal. There's lots and lots of, oh, you have to meditate for 30 minutes and you have to sit in a certain position. And no, you don't. Take 5 minutes. What did I just now do? 2. Endeavoring to feel that presence within. So to me, that is the number 1 most important reason to pray. The second one, it's our faculty and our necessity of choice. I'm going to say a little bit more about